Joe liked the ceramics teacher, but he found the clay pretty tough stuff to handle. There was one boy in the class, though, who was really an artist. When he was turning the potter's wheel, nothing else in the world seemed to matter.
Selling real and Chevy.
Drive out any extra moisture so nothing blows up.
What has exploded is the ordinary explosive, which is an essential part of nuclear weapons.
It seems sometimes like the world is bent on destruction. You know, we spend I don't know how many trillions of dollars a year blowing things up. But at the same time, there's not enough money in schools for art programs. If we all believe that we had an opportunity and maybe a responsibility to create and to be creators, I think there wouldn't be much room for destruction. One of my creative heroes, Fred Babb, once said, "Art is the healing ointment that oozes from our hearts and minds and heals our aching world." I think that we all have the ability to be healers and to be healed by what it is that comes out of us. When you go into a kindergarten class and ask how many of them are artists, ask them to raise their hands, every single hand shoots up. And somewhere around maybe third grade, some of them start thinking, well, I'm not really an artist because Bob here is a lot better than I am and I suck at this. I'm giving up. I'm going to go do something else. And I recognize that when we define ourselves by who and what we are today, we really limit ourselves and limit our future by defining ourselves in these really small boxes. Oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at drawing. I'm not good at music. I could never do that. And I think that is such a cop-out. That is bull. We need to get busy and put our minds to doing something creative. It begins with that quote from St. Francis that a man who works with his hands is a laborer, a man who works with his hands and his head is a craftsman, but a man who works with his hands, his head, and his heart is an artist. And I'm not talking about just creating art. I'm talking about when we put our head, heart, and hands in whatever it is we're doing, whether we're making sandwiches or raising kids or practicing the law or practicing medicine, everything becomes more fulfilling for us. And the world is blessed because of that. And we come up with creative solutions that we've never thought of before. Sitting in stagnant places brings no one any happiness. But if we get up and spread a little sunshine somewhere else, then the whole world is benefited by that. When we exercise our talents, other people are inspired. I feel like the universe, or God, or whatever you want to call it, I think he tries to get our attention. And few of us tend to listen very well. And sometimes we have to be swallowed by a whale before we're willing to listen. And for me, my whale was arthritis. I knew I needed to be writing, but I didn't know when I was going to have the time to do it, or how I was going to make that happen. How do I change from from what I knew and what was really working financially to something that I knew nothing about. And at age 30, I couldn't pour a gallon of milk. I couldn't pick up my infant son. So I finally went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "It looks like you have psoriatic arthritis, an autoimmune disease that hit me where it kind of mattered the most, in my hands." I was sitting at the wheel late one night working on some teapot lids, and I was just in a really big world of hurt as my hands refused to function the way that they had, and quite emotional. And as I sat there and worked on the wheel, and my tears started falling into my work, and I found myself asking over and over again, why is this happening to me? What is going on? I'm trying to do everything right. Why am I faced with this trial? I felt like the answer came to me in a very strong, distinct voice that said, "Ben, you know exactly what you were supposed to be doing. The experiences that you were given were intended to be shared with others. Now hurry up and get on with it." I keep the x-rays of my hands in the window right above my workspace, and just as a reminder to listen. It's caused me to stop and remember and to think about things more clearly, to think outside the box. There's a great Quaker proverb I love that says, "Proceed as the way opens." I think ways are opening for us all the time. If we're willing to step through them, our lives will be blessed. But if fear holds us back, I think in a very literal way we get damned, we get held back. There are lots of people in this world that live their lives based on fear, and progression is nearly impossible. I really believe that the dark side uses fear to hold us back from all that we can become. But if we can put off that fear, if we can live our lives in love rather than fear, everything else falls into the right place. Everything works out somehow.